No, what you think, Fred? All right.
Fred.
Like, dude, you're an idiot.
I'm doing very well, Jen. Is it just going to be me and you, or Eli and Zach going to pop in?
Yeah, they'll talk every once in a while. But
Every now and then we'll kind of
he was already here right away.
It kind of, well, we're used to you attacking us, so.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay.
Let's just put it this way. Who do you see as the quarterback week 1 for the Green Bay Packers?
I see.
Welcome in, everybody. Open book here, game on Wisconsin. Heading into week 3 of the NFL season. Packers do what they do best. Get the dub. Sunday night football against the Bears. We now sit at 1-1 with the rest of the division. We will obviously talk about all of this, but I'm just excited to be back. I missed last week's show. Riley, I was expecting this earlier. You're about a minute late on that one. But I know that Jen's cats took my place last week, and I think that was a smart call by all of you.
They did a lot better of a job. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
that would, Jacob, you could leave, actually. It's all right. But
Be nice. You just had a child.
Oh, yeah, I meant child. Good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, but I did not see you guys last week, obviously. So, as we always do, Jen, why don't you kick us off? How you doing? What's been going on?
I'm tired.
Oh, cool.
Middle school is exhausting.
Yeah, school stuff. Yeah, people who go to school, what an awful way to live.
Basically, every week you ask me now that we're back in school, I'm just going to say
Yeah.
I'm tired. But
Yeah.
I did have, because I didn't go into work yesterday, because of whatever, a kid came up to me today and he's like, the Vikings lost. And the other kid was like, the Packers won. And I was like, okay, sometimes it's not so bad here. There's some smart kids still.
Yeah, no, that always helps.
How was it? I don't think I asked you, but how was it like the week you went back after the Vikings smacked the Packers around, made them their bitch?
Oh, it was awful. I mean, I have some coworkers who they've known me for like 10 years and they have never looked happier to see me. Like the shit grins on their face when they saw me walking down the hall. Which then I was late to the next class I was supposed to be in, where it's, another Vikings fan, the football coach. And he was so he lit up and he's like, I didn't even know if you'd show up today. And obviously in front of the whole class, just, giving me shit. But they all knew not to get too excited, which obviously they got their shit tossed on Monday. So all is kind of, everything is kind of balancing back out.
Well, even here in Chicago, they didn't even play the Bears. This happened to me 2 times this week, driving my car down the street, and someone that I didn't realize that I knew them, but a car coming the other way rolls down their window and yells at me, Packers suck. Like he knows me, someone that I know, just making fun of me. I'm getting assaulted in the streets. And then we lose to the Bears. They lost to the Vikings. That's what's so sad about both of those franchises. They celebrate a Packers loss like they just won the freaking Super Bowl. It is very sad. But that's what makes them them. Andy, obviously that's correct. I appreciate it.
I mean, literally no one gives a fuck about anything Andy says. So.
Oh, well, very nice. I'm sure Andy feels great about himself now. No,
should. Hey, he gives me shit. I'm going to give him shit right back.
I hear that. It's a good call.
Did you see his comment? Yes, I work at the middle school that I went to many, many years ago.
Oh, I actually...
My coworkers are my former teachers, which is why they know to give me all the shit.
I never thought to ask you that, maybe. That makes it weirder.
It's fun.
You're still a teacher, so... And, oh, wait, look, Aaron Rodgers, see?
Wow, thanks for watching. Look at that. Yeah. And you don't even have your sign up behind you. Unbelievable.
I know. I took it down because I decided that it needed to be closer to me at all times. So, Aaron Rodgers, thank you for coming to watch the show.
Wait, so then where is it?
Do you have it sitting next to you?
No, I haven't. This is not my bedroom.
Oh.
Okay. Oh, you sleep.
I sleep with it, obviously, yeah. I sleep with it.
I'm surprised you didn't print it onto a pillowcase.
So no, I made one of those big blankets of just his face, and then a bunch of pillowcases of the DM, and then Yeah, it's real creepy. You would not want to be there. But
well, unfortunately now Aaron Rodgers, since he's watching this, knows everything.
Question is, who took the time to make this burner account?
Well, last week somebody very quickly made one for Loki, so there's somebody in here who is on top of all the burner.
I'm pretty okay. Notice how Ben isn't here.
Yeah, Ben wasn't here last week either, so it's the conspiracy.
And his name all of a sudden in the fantasy league is Loki.
Right.
Ooh,
yeah, I think we have our answer.
Okay, so there's my cat, your dog. Like, our pets are just kind of taking over our fantasy league.
Well, you know what's weird?
Zach, who is now 0-4.
Yeah, by the way, we're going to talk about the Open Book Fantasy League in a minute, but real quick.
Yeah, we have to because I have some shit to say.
Yeah. So, number one, I didn't get the chance last week to say that, hey, Andrew, backstage, championship rematch, I took the dub, 2 of those, 2-0 on that one. But there's a guy in one of my leagues whose profile picture for his team is my profile picture on Twitter. And I don't know why. It's very weird and it makes me uncomfortable. But
you know him though, right?
That's exactly why they do it.
Yeah, I do know him, but it's weird. It doesn't feel appropriate.
Yeah, I've had people do that shit in fantasy
one
too.
of the people in our chat here is now gonna take your picture and
not have done that. Damn it.
We're gonna have like Chris and Sam.
Yeah, no, it's true. That's a good call. But all right, let's jump into, well, actually, no, we didn't get the chance to ask how Zach. So I always do this. We talk to Jen, and then I jump into football. I don't get to ask Zach.
I'm not shit, dude. Like,
well, no, but I didn't get at least
Zach's
tell me where you are.
And...
Zach, are you on the West Coast currently, or more Eastern because of the backdrop?
Oh, I'm still on the West Coast. I'm just in my living room.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if you were traveling. I know you're a very busy guy.
Well, at this time next week, I'll be on the East Coast for the show next week. So
nice. Now I'm okay when we're 2-1 after beating the Bucs.
I better see some dog appearances.
You will because Erica will be at work, I think, by the time I do the show. So
I literally like message Erica every time she posts her dog, and I'm like, more, please.
Yeah, she tells me.
Ooh, you know what? I say next week we do a pet episode. I get my dog, you get Erica's dogs, Thor and Loki. Boom. Packer.
Perfect. We can take the night off. They can sit here and do the show.
Yeah, because we'll probably have we'll have a loss to talk about anyway. So I'd rather just have the pets to do it.
Don't you say such things. This is.
I'm just saying, man. Okay, like Aaron Rodgers sucks in Tampa Bay. He sucks in Florida.
Why does he suck in the heat? I don't get it.
I don't know, man. He gets like the life sucked out of him every time he steps into that state, and then he can't play competent football.
Yeah, it really feels like he just lands in Florida because it's Florida. Everyone that lands in Florida, it's like part of your body. It's like it gets drained from you because Florida's such a.
Well, yeah. Look at Tom Brady.
Yeah, he literally. When I say you get the life sucked out of you, he literally got the life sucked out of him. Yeah. Like he looks like he's like deflating.
Yeah, he looks.
Well, that's kind of his thing. So.
Ooh, got him the deflate game.
What? That was good.
Very clever.
Thank you.
But let's talk real quick about Sunday night because obviously. Week 1 is pretty painful, and we got our week 2 Sunday night against the Bears. Aaron Rodgers entering the game. Well, I shouldn't say Aaron Rodgers. The Packers over their last 12 primetime games were 12-0, and they made it 13-0 Sunday night, 27-10 win over the Bears. It was, the score makes it seem like it was kind of a cruise, but we all know that game had a lot more sweating than needed until kind of the end. But just some initial reactions, how you felt throughout the game, any specific player that stuck out to you in a good way or bad way.
Feed Aaron Jones. Just feed him. Feed Aaron Jones forever.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Unfortunately for you, he asked me, so.
Oh, I didn't hear. I wasn't listening.
Yeah, no, I did ask Zach first because
I screwed up.
Well, Zach does have the fun fact about Aaron Jones that he tweeted out today. So.
Oh, I didn't.
Oh yeah, Aaron Jones, FedEx Ground Player of the Week.
Yes.
Number 5, tying Amon Green. So
that is cool. By the way, I'm shocked that there was a FedEx Ground Player when Amon Green was playing.
they've been doing it for a while.
Bernard, if this is a question, it's not a question. It's Rogers.
Hey, he might be new. I don't remember seeing Bernard in here, so
I've seen him.
Bernard, we do appreciate you. No, but just in general, not even because of like my association, but I mean Aaron Rodgers, like him over everyone else. But as you mentioned just now, regarding Aaron Jones, and the amount. So let's just start there. Finally, feeding the run game. Aaron Jones, AJ Dillon. They combined for, I believe it was 30 carries, 31. They combined for 33 carries. They combined for. That is what we want to see. I mean, that is exactly what, at least for me, I want to be. Definitely heard that, I would imagine. But that's what I want to see. There's no reason why when right now you got rookie receivers, you got new free agent receivers. Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon are bell cows. They should combine 30 plus touches every single week. That's just my first obvious thought. I mean, off Jen saying it, but yes.
I was mad after the game, and I mean,
what's happening?
To address this now to get everything cleared up, but there was a.
Yep, that was me. That's because you go to a website to go to a stat, and then they throw a video up there like, "Oh, watch this."
That is the worst. I hate that.
Justin Fields talking like I need to see that. But Zach, back to my question.
Now we're gonna get like red flagged on YouTube for like stealing content.
Yeah, I did not. Yeah.
Way to go, Eli.
I didn't mean to. But yeah, that's funny. But yeah, Zach, Sohn stuck out to you. Plays, moments in the game, momentum, something.
Well, I know Elton Jenkins didn't play like his best game. Obviously he's coming back from the ACL and everything, but you see how much of a difference like them being able to kind of reshape that offensive line looked. Like being able to kick Royce Newman back inside, have a lot more trustworthy of an option at right guard than Jake Hansen, and a lot more trusted of an option than Royce Newman at right tackle, because that was bad. You saw just how bad that offensive line looked against the Vikings. So you have him back, and there's that sense of like familiarity that, like the offensive, so much of the offensive line is like, obviously knowing what your job is, but knowing what the guy next to you is going to do, knowing, just as a group of five, knowing, each other's tendencies and knowing what to expect from each other. So
that continuity we used to have.
Continuity, exactly. That's so important. So you get a guy like Elton Jenkins back, and that just kind of just fortifies everything. And something I talked about like that whole week leading up to the game was just like, everything is going to be dependent on how well that offensive line plays. And it's a young season, but they played worlds better than they did against the Vikings. And they were able to run the ball better. Play action was working fairly well. They were able to Aaron Rodgers had time, except for the times when he held the ball for way too long. I know, Eli, you don't want me to slander your hero, but he holds the ball way too long a lot of the time, and he's done that in the first 2 weeks.
That's been a career-long thing that I won't deny.
But the thing is, like, he transitioned away from that. Matt LaFleur, like in year two, he transitioned away from that. He was hitting everything on time and playing like within the structure of the offense. Now he's kind of strayed away from that, and I think a big part of that is because of the offensive line. So now they're playing so well. Everything is just working off of that. Like that is where everything starts in this offense. And you saw that. They were finally able to, they ran the ball well against the Vikings, but they ran the ball more. The volume was higher. They were Aaron Jones was just getting everything he wanted. And, Aaron Rodgers made a good point today at his locker. Actually, he was talking about how the league has kind of transitioned to like those two shell defenses with two safeties up above, and a lot less one high, which you play someone one high. Then two shell, like they're daring you pretty much to run the football. Yeah. And that's the majority of what the league is playing right now. And the Packers strayed away from the run and I can't imagine never doing that in a league like this when they're pretty much begging you to run the football. And when you have arguably the best backfield in the game. So basically, to answer your question is, this whole offensive line, the structure of it, the integrity of it, having a big piece like Elton Jenkins back, which is probably going to take him a few weeks to get acclimated. It's not realistic for anyone to expect him to come right back and immediately go back to the same guy he was before. Same thing with David Bakhtiari once he plays in 2027.
Oh, God.
Sorry. But yeah, just the offensive line. That was the biggest.
I just feel bad for him.
LaFleur's answer today was like concerning to me. It's like, what does that mean? What did he say? I had no idea.
Maybe that's a good thing.
What he's
Because,
trying to say.
bless you, see? Hey.
Thank you.
This whole time that we've been talking about David Bakhtiari and like when's he gonna come back, and LaFleur just says like, oh, we're gonna take it day by day, we're gonna get him out there on the grass today and this and that. He would give like long-winded answers, and we haven't seen Bakhtiari come back. Now maybe he's being,
coy.
That's a good word. That's a good word, Eli. Yeah, maybe he's being coy on purpose because
that would be fun if he just popped back. If he came back this week, especially considering 2 years ago, we all know how much we could have used him in that championship game against the Bucs. And like Jen said, just in general, I mean, I felt so bad every time the camera went on to Bakhtiari on the sidelines. It's just like, it's not his fault. There's nothing he can do. And the worst is when you see people on Twitter and Packers Twitter, please, like if you're criticizing David Bakhtiari for not being tough enough or not wanting to play or this, that, like you're so off and it's so wrong to do that. Like he wants so badly to be playing.
People who are criticizing him the most have probably never played a sport and never been injured and just like sit on their couch and do
exactly. They're the ones who literally, they do nothing and they've never been in that experience. But I mean, having to sit there knowing how important you are to a team and watch them play and knowing you can't play and you're hurt and it's just taking forever to get back. It just sucks. And look, none of us know what's going on with Bakhtiari, so I don't want to take up too much time talking about it because we all know that it's a huge mystery. But let's talk about this passing game for a minute. We got, Sammy Watkins making a splash play, Romeo Doubs making a splash play. Christian Watson, even though he might not have had the best stats at the end, but he was actually the second most targeted player on the team, I believe, or at least targeted receiver. So, Jen, did you get, some more confidence with this passing game moving forward? Maybe Rodgers and Watkins getting closer. Doubs, in my opinion, on that screen pass, it was, excuse my language, but that was sexual. It was really good.
Yeah, that Watkins play, like all offseason, I was kind of just like, he's my biggest question mark. I don't know what we're going to get from him. Like, what kind of version of him are we going to see? And I really enjoyed the connection that I'm seeing from him. Obviously, he can go out there, and I think Aaron Rodgers was shaking his head because if he would have hit him a little bit deeper, he probably could have gone all the way. But, it's just kind of a flash of what I think we're going to see a lot more of. And it was nice, obviously, with Lazard back in the lineup, spreading the ball out a lot and kind of just what we were all anticipating would happen. Watson, I feel like he should be used more in the long game than the short game, just with his speed. I don't know. There was obviously a couple of hiccups there. It sounds like it was more Josh Myers on that one that hit him on the run by. But yeah, I think that they're kind of starting to get comfortable in their roles because obviously, like, we've got a lot of guys who are new to this offense and new to the system. So it's nice to see veterans like Watkins coming in and really picking it up right away. And obviously you've got Cobb you can rely on, who had some big plays, and Lazard had big plays, and Tunyon back getting involved, and just spraying the ball around. And then obviously the rookies doing their job. So I think we're just going to continue to see more and more of that. Week one, it was what it was, but we're starting to see more comfortability from this offense as a whole. And like Zach said, a lot of that comes from that offensive line starting to slowly come back. And obviously it helps when you have Dillon and Jones too in the backfield to help. So I think a lot of things this was a good game for everything to kind of start to come together, get that rust off week one. And now we're kind of seeing what this offense can actually produce on the field.
Yeah. We saw it, and we all know that if it wasn't for a fluke fumble, two fluky-ish kind of plays, they could have been it could have been a real blowout, and we would be having even a different conversation right now. But a couple points I wanted to make, even back to what Zach said also, and both of you, about the offensive line. Obviously Elton makes a huge difference for Rodgers, but I also think having Allen Lazard back makes a huge difference in getting the ball out quicker, because we all know, again, Rodgers trust receiver, it's huge. And for him in week one, it was Randall Cobb and Robert Tunyon were the only guys outside of the running backs that he's thrown footballs to in a real game. And when you don't necessarily know the exact time that Watson or Doubs is going to make that cross or turn around on that hitch route, it does throw you off. So when you have Lazard and you know all of his movements and you know Rodgers knows Lazard's movements, you see the success they had. And Randall Cobb, he only had 3 catches for 37 yards. But number one, we all know the spectacular catch he had on the sideline. Also ridiculous throw from Rodgers. And I know for sure another one of his catches was a 3rd down conversion. I don't know about the 3rd catch. But Randall Cobb doesn't need to catch 8 balls for 100 yards and a touchdown all the time. He needs to be that guy on 3rd down that Aaron Rodgers can look to when he needs 4 to 6 yards, and Cobb's going to get it for him. And we saw that this week, and it was great to see Lazard back. I've been pretty high on Watkins throughout most of the, since they've signed him. I said if he could stay healthy, I think he'll matter. And look, it was 3 catches, and obviously most of it came on 1 play. But the timing is looking better and better between Rodgers and Watkins. So I like that. Oh, God.
Oh, my gosh. Who put that on the screen?
Not me. Andrew, for sure.
Andrew. I don't have control, so let me.
Definitely Andrew.
Don't give Riley that kind of exposure.
That's great. Damn, I'm trying to recover here.
Oh my gosh.
I love blaming Andrew immediately and watching him just like go what the fuck backstage.
I can't see him because I lost my login info, so I just see his message. I didn't put that up.
He messaged the private chat. Okay, yeah, I see. Okay.
Yeah, it must have been Zach because it was not me, but that's good.
Oh God. Okay. A lot of people want to write off Randall Cobb, and I get it because he's older. And it's the same old, redundant bullshit. Like, oh, God, why are we having this old Randall Cobb back? But, like you said, if he can be that security blanket on 3rd down, which he's been pretty much throughout Aaron Rodgers' entire career, then last year, he was that. He was that same 3rd down guy that we saw him beat Roquan Smith on that Texas route out of the backfield. He was that guy last year. He was one of their leading receivers. I think he might have been even been their leading receiver, like at the top next to Devontae Adams. He might have been. He had more touchdowns than Devontae Adams. I know that for sure. By the time he got injured, and he was in the middle of his best performance of the season against the Rams when he messed up his core. So he could still be a useful guy. And yeah, like you said, he doesn't need to put up the gaudy numbers or be this crazy like fantasy fucking dynamo. As long as he's making those critical moments. Thank you, Sam. Appreciate that. As long as he's, just making plays in those critical moments when he's called upon, then that's all they need. He might even see his role decrease. Now that Allen Lazard is there, they like playing Allen Lazard in the slot.
Yeah.
And that just opens up spots on the outside. You have, Christian Watson is he can play in the slot, but he's a perimeter guy. Sammy Watkins is a perimeter guy. Romeo Doubs will probably, play in and out. So Cobb might not be depended on as heavily this year, just with all the bodies they have and the different things they can do. But when he is called upon, he can produce. He can be that guy.
Exactly. I think just like in 3rd down situations, goal line situations, you bring him in. It's someone that Rodgers trusts. He knows exactly where he's going to be, when he's supposed to be there. So we're going to see. It's a deep receiver room. People like to make fun of it, but it's actually a pretty deep receiver room.
And he's a fucking cool guy, and we know that because we talked to him. So
very true. Yes,
that is very true.
And I took multiple pictures of the inside of my pocket, but not him when we were together. And
I thought you said you finally redeemed yourself, or was
I redeemed myself, but don't ask. I'm not a picture guy. Okay, I redeemed myself. But let's talk for a minute here about the fact that the Packers defense, I believe, has given up 13 points in the last 6 quarters of football? Is that what it is, Zach?
I believe so.
13, I believe. No, it's 13.
Pretty sure it is.
Yeah. So our defense is starting. I think this week, look, David Montgomery had way too much space on a lot of runs, and that needs to be figured out. It was pretty surprising considering everyone thought with Devontae Wyatt and Kenny Clark, and obviously in the middle with Clark and Campbell and Walker, they would be great against the run. But Montgomery just tore them up. But yeah, and Thor and Loki are in. But
right on schedule. I kept muting because Loki's been speed bagging my door. So I'm
teabagging your door?
Yeah, why would he teabag your door?
Trying to break in, so that's why I just keep muting myself.
Meow.
Yeah.
Don't encourage it.
Meow.
Oh yeah, we hear the teabagging.
Meow.
Speed bagging.
Oh, speed bagging. Oh,
I've never teabagged the door, so I don't know what's like.
He got his taste of fame, and now he wants more, but he's got to stay out there.
Yeah, he's just selfish. But so the defense. Loved what I saw. Preston Smith, unstoppable. Rashawn Gary continues to become an absolute star in the NFL. And I loved that Jair Alexander finally got, not just, like we all know, he doesn't have a ton of interceptions usually, but a game-sealing, game-ending interception. Like, your cornerback one, you're the highest-paid cornerback ever. Those are the plays you want to see you make in the fourth quarter. You're the one Jalen Ramsey did it, and we all love to make fun of him, but at the end of the day, he picked off whoever the hell it was, the Falcons, Mariota. That's your job. And the fact that he got it, I think it's a huge confidence boost. And I think that whole big celebration on the sideline right after the pick was kind of like almost like an apology. At least we all know that he seemed offended that he was not a team captain. And I think they wanted to really rally around him after he made that pick. So I love that for him.
Yeah, they're playing just fast, and the thing is, like, they haven't even reached their potential yet. Like, they haven't scratched the surface. They haven't even come close. Like, we are only 2 weeks into the season, and these guys can like still gel together over the course of the year, and they have all the pieces in place that they need, and they could do so many different things with the guys they have up front. I mean, they're playing Devondre Campbell and Quay Walker on the edge, and that's something that I couldn't even like imagine. That's a crazy wrinkle that over the summer I didn't even think was possible, and Quay Walker is already having like this immediate impact. So, I think the sky's the limit with these guys, as long as they're able to kind of shore up that run defense that you mentioned. I mean, David Montgomery gashed for 136 yards from scrimmage, and the week before the Vikings were averaging, 4.5 yards a carry between Dalvin Cook and Alexander Madison. And the thing is, I know people are going to kind of nitpick that, but the thing is, like I said, this is still very, very early. They got things they need to clean up, and they know that they're going to get it figured out. And when you have the bodies that they have up front, then it's almost impossible not to be good against the run. So they'll figure it out. There's probably some schematic things they're looking through, and communication wise, they'll get it together, and they're going to be a very, very good unit by midseason.
I mean, they're going to kind of have to figure out how to stop the run this week because Tom Brady has no receivers. So it's going to be a big Fournette day. So
yeah, that's a perfect segue, honestly, Jen, to
Thank you.
our upcoming matchup against Tom Brady and the Bucs. And it might be, and look, Mike Evans suspended. The appeal was denied. He will not be playing in this game. Chris Godwin did not practice today. It would not surprise me if he missed the game. Julio Jones did not practice. It would not surprise me if he missed the game. So like Jen said, the Bucs could be down their top three receivers. And that makes it almost like the Packers, you need to at least perform at a high level and make it a very competitive game, if not simply win. Because if you can't cover Russell Gage, Rashad Perriman, and Scotty Miller, this team, it's going to be a problem. But let's jump into that game here. Jen, what are your initial thoughts going into it? And obviously, yes, with Evans and Godwin and Julio all up in the air, that's going to play into it.
Yeah, I mean, kind of looking back at when we did our schedule breakdown, I did pick them to lose this game. Going to Tampa, a place that they don't predominantly succeed in. It's a Tom Brady game. Obviously, them missing so many of their weapons definitely works in the Packers' favor, but they also can't play down to that level. Then they have to, play above that and play their level football. And you never really know what's going to happen in a game like this. You know, you got guys who are stepping in who obviously want to make a big impact. Obviously, the Packers have had guys like Rasul Douglas who come off a practice squad and overperform. So you can't go in there and take it lightly just because there's no Evans and potentially no Godwin or Julio Jones. So I think still go in there game planning like everybody's healthy, and you just got to come out strong against a team like that. I don't want them to come out, you know, it takes a quarter to get rolling, and then you kind of finally start to heat up in the second, and then it's halftime and things start to fizzle. You know, it has to be a very consistent game. So I know last week against the Bears, basically all their points came in the first half, and then they kind of just rode that through the second half, and defense thankfully was able to do their job. But yeah, it's got to be a start hot and hot. Just got to play all 4 quarters against this team. You never really know what's going to happen with a Tom Brady team. So you got to go in there and, you know, play your best and figure out ways to stop. You know, obviously Fournette's going to be a huge X factor against this team, especially because Montgomery looked really, really good. So there's definitely going to still be some factors, even if some of the receivers are absent during that game.
Yeah, for sure. And like you said, I think the biggest point, you know, from what you said, you got to play 4 quarters against Tom Brady. If you think you're going to go have a great first half and then skip to a win, it's not going to happen. But Zach, what are some of the bigger, you know, X factors from this game that you're looking for, or any specific player from the Packers you want to see step up that could, I mean, in the beginning of the show, you did somewhat imply you are expecting a loss. So how can we change that?
Yeah, you downer. Why'd you pick a loss? Tell us.
I'm so fucking sick of Tom Brady.
I know. I think we're all sick. I mean, everyone's sick of him.
No, not even as a person. I'm just sick of like him
as an
overcoming the odds and all this bullshit, because that is literally like what will more than likely happen.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, oh, no Mike Evans, no Chris Godwin, no Julio Jones. It doesn't matter. They just brought up Cole Beasley from the practice squad. Yeah. Tom Brady loves his white slot receivers, and he always produces when he has his white slot receivers. So, just like, what the like? I don't even know anymore. I don't know how they beat this guy, and because I specifically remember in 2020, I said we were going into that game that I think it was week 4. It was like October 10th or something. That game against the Buccaneers. And my analysis was like, oh, okay. Tom Brady's a statue in the pocket. He's not going to scramble. He's not going to run, but he's really good at evading the pressure. He's really good at bouncing around and kind of navigating the pocket because he is. Okay?
Yeah.
Tom Brady's really good at that. He doesn't need to scramble and, you know, run around like Kyler Murray does. He's smart. And if the Packers get pressure, then they can knock that statue down. It's just a matter of getting home. Now, granted, okay, we all know how that game turned out. Packers lost 38-10. But granted, this offensive line is nothing compared to what the Bucs had in 2020.
Yeah,
like they are injured and they are young. They're playing like a couple reserves. So if there is going to be a time to take advantage of Tom Brady being the statue that he is and pressuring him, blitzing him, which the Packers have done very little of this season.
Yeah, I was going to say this. We're not blitzing at all. I mean, We're getting some pressure with 4 guys, but I think against Brady, Barry needs to be a bit more exotic with his blitzes.
Yeah, and I think that's how you take advantage of an inexperienced, injured offensive line. That is how you push the pocket back into Brady's lap and just force him. Whenever that happens, Brady like just topples. He topples and he curls up into a little ball, tucks the ball away. That's what he does, you know? So that's what they need to do. It's the same thing I said 2 years ago. They need to have their pass rush firing on all cylinders. They need to blitz. They need to make sure they're covering well downfield, because it doesn't matter if there's no Evans, Godwin, and Julio. Yeah. It does not matter. Tom Brady was throwing to scrubs for years in New England, and he was having success. He was taking them to Super Bowls.
Yeah, and what the funny thing is that, you know, we go and we talk about Evans and Godwin and Julio, but the 4, 5, and 6 receivers on the Bucs, being Gage, Perriman, and Miller, they're not scrubs.
That's like, good.
I mean, yeah. If those are your 4, 5, and 6, like that's pretty crazy, honestly. So the Packers can't walk into this with like the defense and be like, oh, we're good. There's no Mike Evans or Godwin. No, like Jair, Rasul Douglas, Eric Stokes, they got to be on their game because it's specifically Perriman and Gage, they're burners, and Scotty Miller. I mean, all of them can really beat you deep. Just ask Kevin King. Gonna just try to not. I know.
Like literally unnecessary, but
I know. And that's why I just stopped myself because I was about to go on a tangent. But
we just need to get Tom Brady out there throwing Microsoft tablets, and then we know that we're on the right track.
By the way, can we talk for just a minute about what the world would have done if that was Aaron Rodgers? Because it would have burned down. Aaron Rodgers, if he was screaming and yelling and throwing tablets like a 5-year-old crying baby, the world would freak out. When Tom Brady does it, what
Rob
a passionate...
post something today. Didn't somebody ask, or didn't the tablet come up, or am I like, was that just a joke?
No, it did. At Rodgers' locker, he said he tossed it. He
not
tossed
enough.
his tablet.
Rodgers didn't throw it hard enough to break it.
Not enough to break it, yeah. And that's the only time that he's ever done it. That's what he said.
The famous GIF.
Yeah.
Yeah, that GIF. The one where 2015 at Carolina.
That was.
I didn't know if I was like, is this a legit thing or is this just like a joke post? Sometimes you can't tell, but okay.
No,
it
was
legit conversation.
No, Brady looks to break it, and as someone who personally uses a Microsoft Surface, I find it offensive because it's a great piece of technology. Don't be breaking it, but Microsoft, Bill Gates, who knows, government. But either way. Let's get to some score predictions because it's going to be why I think it's. I mean, we all know this could be one of the most important games for the Packers this season. I think when we were doing the schedule breakdown, Jen, I think I took the Packers to win, and I think I also said just momentum wise, if they could finally just get over the hump. They always have the team they can't beat: the Niners, the Giants, the Seahawks, whatever it is. You beat them and you just get over that hump, and all of a sudden you actually go into Tampa, you win, you come out, you're 2-1. I think it's a different season. So huge game, Sunday afternoon. Jen, why don't you kick us off? What's your score prediction? How do you see it going down?
Well, I know, like, obviously, when did we do it? Like over a month ago, our schedule breakdown, I picked them to lose this game, but now obviously there's different factors coming in. So just kind of considering those, I'm going to say it's a really close game, but I'm going to say that the Packers take advantage of the losses that the Buccaneers have on their roster this week, and I'm going to say they squeak out with a 23-21 win.
23-21 squeaker. Nothing like a squeaker. Zach, you seeing
like
a squeaker?
A fresh cheese curd.
Yeah, good fresh cheese curd. I can't even cheese curd. If it doesn't squeak, I still barely know what that means. But Zach, your thoughts on Sunday's big game against Tom Brady and the Buccaneers?
I think the Packers lose.
You're sticking with your loss.
I'm gonna stick with the loss. Yeah.
Stick with the guns. I agree with that.
I don't think they get blown out like last time. I don't think Aaron Rodgers throws 3 picks like he's done. Or let me rephrase. I don't think he throws at least 2 interceptions like he's done 3 of the 4 times he's gone to Tampa Bay to play the Buccaneers. But I don't think they win this game. I think the Buccaneers edge it out. I would say maybe 24-17. Maybe they win by a touchdown. It'll be close, and the Packers will probably look good, better than a lot of people expect them to look. But
so you're saying it's like a good-looking loss?
It's like a good-looking loss, yeah. A loss that, like, it's not demoralizing, but it gives you kind of confidence for the next week. Like, okay, they're hanging with the Buccaneers. They look good. They look okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't think they win this game. I have no confidence in Aaron Rodgers going down to Florida right now. He just does not play well, especially in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I mean, I don't know what it is about Florida that really it matters. The Packers they don't play well there, but I said it before the season, and I think, like Jen said, I have even more of a reason to stick with my guns now, considering it's possible that the top 3 receivers on the Bucs will not be playing, and they've had some offensive line injuries. But like Zach has said, Tom Brady is Tom Brady, and he can make it work with almost anyone. So,
I hate him.
What?
I hate him.
Oh, yeah.
I have that in common.
Yeah.
But like Jen said, I mean, I'm expecting a real squeaker. I'm gonna go 24-23. I think Mason Crosby down 23-21. It's a game winner.
Mm-hmm.
Wins it 24-23. Zach, that felt sarcastic and condescending, and I know where you live. But no, really, I do. This isn't, homerism. I'll be honest. If Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and Julio Jones are healthy, maybe I go back on what I said a month ago, depending, considering what we've seen. But you got to be able to win this game if those guys aren't playing. Who knows? Godwin might play. Julio might play. Julio's Julio at this point, but I say they squeak it out 24-23. Jen takes them at 23. What was it? 23-21? 23. Yeah. And Zach has them losing 24-17 because he just.
Zach is used to losing, though.
Yeah.
Oh, Zach is used to losing. Oh,
I haven't had a chance to
Yeah, we didn't really talk about the fantasy
about
league.
my victorious week in fantasy.
We don't need to talk about
it. Zach,
No, we don't have to talk about the fantasy league. We gotta. Oh
As-
God,
as-
we're running late anyway.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
as we close out, we'll just say that Jen, astonishingly, is 4-0, while Zach.
I think I'm 3-1. I didn't make the points the first week, but.
Oh, okay. Jen is 3-1. Zach is 0-4, I believe, which is hilarious. And
You're not much better than me. You're 2-2.
I'm 2-Kate. Well,
yeah, Eli, I'm doing better than you.
Yeah, the defending champ that was like, oh, I'm gonna reclaim my throne. 2-2.
Yeah. Okay, I'm in the playoffs still. Okay,
we're 2 weeks in.
Yeah,
2 weeks in
a lot
the
can happen. I'm getting J.K. Dobbins back.
Oh, wow. That's gonna be a game changer
in a run-heavy offense. Yeah, you just fucking wait, Eli.
Okay,
just wait.
Yeah, when Mike Davis,
wait for you guys to play each other. I don't know who I play this week.
We play each other this week.
Oh yeah, wait, Zach,
you guys play each other this week.
Okay,
Yeah.
Zach, right now we gotta make a quick bet real quick. We gotta do something.
Do we have to? Because my team sucks. All right, fine. What do you want to bet, Eli?
Everybody trade to Zach.
Crap. We gotta think of something.
I'm working on a trade right now with Sam. He wants Kyle Pitts, but he's offering me Ramondre Stevenson, the Patriots' backup running back. Like, get the fuck out of here, dude.
No,
so unserious.
That's unacceptable.
God.
Okay, we're gonna come up with a punishment amongst ourselves, and it will be announced because. Oh, and you guys already played. Zach, you should have already been punished.
Okay, so I must be playing Mark this week.
Well, we play each other again, though, I think.
Oh,
right?
That's true.
Yeah, I
so
think
Zach,
we all play each other at least twice, maybe.
Yeah, so Zach basically is looking forward to punishment. But yeah, everyone who's in the fantasy league, we're having a great time. Everyone following along, we appreciate it. And as always, thank you for tuning in, watching Open Book here every Wednesday at 8 Central, as you see at the bottom of the screen. Make sure to follow Game On Wisconsin on Twitter at Game On WI and subscribe here on YouTube at Game On Wisconsin. And Jen, where can everyone find all of your tremendous work?
The usual, at Big Mac _4. Enjoy the football-only content while it lasts. Hockey returns in October, so
already?
Yeah.
That shit literally just ended.
It just ended.
Yeah, well, we don't play a long off season. We get that shit rolling.
That's selfish.
Thank you. Aaron Rodgers loves me. That's all I needed to see.
Hey, that's not fair.
You know that's not. You guys know that's not actually. You know what? Just never mind.
But so obviously here, Pack-A-Day, Pack Report TV, all that good stuff throughout the season. So be sure to follow along there.
Yeah, Jen's all over the place as always. And before I forget, obviously make sure to follow our wonderful producer, Andrew, at Mertens_Andrew on Twitter, and Zachariah. How about yourself?
That's where you can find me. It's Zach J and Packer Report.
Yes, make sure to check out Packer Report every 13 minutes as Zach releases another article, which is just about the frequency that you're going to be getting them, which is great. Breaking news. It's awesome. And me, as Aaron Rodgers has commented in our chat a lot. If you want some, Aaron Rodgers content, you can find it at Book of Eli _NFL and all other Packer content. And you could also find whatever writing I do this year for PackerReport.com. And obviously, Pack a Day podcast with Jen and Matt Freilich every Saturday. Everyone, thank you again. We're going to see you next week, Wednesday. Let's look, big week. We all know, we don't know what next week's going to look like, but we're going to be positive. Go Pack Go. See you at 2-1, everybody. Andrew.
What you think, Fred? All right.
Fred.
Like, dude, you're an idiot.
I'm doing very well, Jen. It's just gonna be me and you, or Eli and Zach gonna pop in.
Yeah, they'll talk every once in a while.
Every now and then we'll kind of.
He was already here right away.
It kind of, well, we're used to you attacking us, so.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Look at.
Let's just put it this way. Who do you see as the quarterback week